welcome everyone that I haven't said welcome to yet. It's really nice to be practicing together. That's always. All right, I'm gonna light some incense, and as I'm doing that, you can feel free to start getting set up, and whatever that means for you. If there's anything you want to take care of before we start practicing, that one last text, or just start getting physically settled in a meditative posture. So this is following our 4-week series, our Home Within series. I won't rehash everything, and it's totally okay if you weren't at part 1. This is part 2. And really, each week is focused on cultivating a different inner place, a different kind of way of being that each of us have that can be a home and a place to live from. So our first week was focused on a sense of friendliness and kindness. It goes by many different names in many traditions. Some people might know it as loving kindness or metta from the Buddhist tradition. In the Christian Latin tradition, it's called agape. And many other names in other traditions. This week, we'll focus on the word compassion, but not the word, really the feeling. And touch in with this place in ourselves that feels some compassion for ourselves and for the world. So you can let your eyes come to rest if they're not already. I would love to read a quote, perhaps 2. This first one is from Albert Camus. We all carry within us our places of exile, our crimes, our ravages. Our task is to not unleash them on the world. It is to transform them in ourselves. Here's a second quote. Take that a step further from Ram Dass. As you enter into one plane of love, that doesn't mean all the other planes don't exist. They're all relatively real, and they each have their own unfolding law. And if you listen, you hear the heartbeat of your own life, your own karma. Let's just begin with the rising and falling of the breath, wherever you feel it. And notice what your state of mind is coming into practice today, both more psychologically, mentally, and emotionally. If it helps, you can put words to it like calm or anxious or spinning thoughts. Or you can just feel how it feels with each rising and falling breath. see what can't be just left to the side for the next 20 minutes. There's something in your mind that's spinning. You can resolve yourself to pick it back up in 20 minutes if you so please. And if there is something that's sticking with you that feels like it can't be set down, you might choose to intentionally bring that with you and cradle it through our practice today. Shift our attention to the area around our heart, in our chest. Imagining that we're breathing directly in and out of the heart, as we so often do. Breathe gently in and out of this heart. Going easy on it. Noticing what the air feels like as you imagine it coming straight in and expanding the heart. And leaving the heart, just focusing on this heart area. Albert Camus said something about our own inner places of exile. Call to mind one such place. Something you carry with you. It's very difficult for you. Something that's been hard on you recently. As you call to mind this difficult thing that you carry with you, whether it's something about yourself or whether it's just something in your life that's hard. Allow yourself to breathe it in. Breathe it into the heart and let it be warmed by your heart. Every inhale, breathing in this challenging, painful thing with courage and allowing the heart to warm it and heal it, transform it. And on the exhale, breathing out even just slightly transformed breath. And then going back for the next round, inhaling, letting the heart transform, exhaling. I notice different thoughts begin to arise, doubting your process or stewing on this difficulty. Just reorienting to the heart from the head. And carrying these thoughts into your heart as well. Pulling them in, letting them be warmed by the heart, and breathing them out. Whatever difficulty you're carrying with you, breathe it in willingly. Without leaving this difficulty behind, still breathing this in, but imagining now your close friends, some close friends of yours, each with their own unique difficulties, different than yours. See if you can't breathe in for them as well. If you feel you have the resources to do so. Imagining friends, perhaps who you know are struggling. Breathing them in, warming with your heart, and breathing out the kindest of intentions that you can ease their life just a little. Perhaps you focus on one or two specific people, or perhaps it's a group. Mainly your friends. Just patient, one breath at a time. As you breathe in this difficulty of your friends, knowing in your own experience how hard it is to live with pain of all sorts of different kinds. Knowing it in your own experience. As you breathe in and let your heart warm this difficulty, you send it back out. Beginning to imagine people people now that you don't know so well, perhaps have interacted with passingly. You don't have strong feelings about knowing that they too are struggling in their own ways. Breathing these struggles in as well. Seeing if you can have a space for your heart to warm these struggles. From your own struggles, all the varieties of pain, allowing your heart to hold the space. You need to add people with whom you have struggled a little bit, people who are difficult for you. Perhaps it's even more obvious that they're in pain or struggling. And regardless of their transgressions, breathing in for them as well, just because they're people. Breath, just making a small little difference. Warming just a little bit. Warming. And beginning to include, if you feel ready to move on, forms of life that aren't even human, but might feel afraid or hungry. You might feel pain. breathing in with the full heart. For everything that feels uncomfortable, feels pain. And just warming this just a little bit with your strong, big, big heart. Imagining all life on earth that you're breathing in for, all people everywhere. And more noticing this feeling that might be arising in your body. Gentle feeling of care. It may show up in all sorts of different ways, but breathing in to encourage this, allow it to circulate through the body. Allowing this genuine, gentle concern for all beings, all life to move through your circulation. To just be part of you. Sticking mainly with this feeling now. We all carry within us our places of exile, our crimes, our ravages. Our task is not to unleash them on the world. It is to transform them in ourselves. As you feel prepared to let go of the practice today, just sitting a few more moments, letting the focused part of the practice just fade away. Just sitting, just a moment. As you feel ready, coming back with the sound of the bell. Slowly, deeper breaths, small movements. forgot that you can't really hear the bell very well without turning on original sound. So coming back with the sound of the sharp metal clink, or nothing at all, you didn't hear anything. So the practice for today.